Hello, my name is host Eric. I'm the host of the internet's finest media outlet, Talking with Famous People. Today I'm going to overview the 16 cognitive functions in a way that I hope everybody can easily understand. We're trained in school to think that pay attention means listen, but listening is just one way of paying attention. If I'm paying attention to a lecture in class, I'm listening for academic information. But paying attention to a date may mean complimenting her, or showing her my badass car, or reading her body language. Heck, I might talk her ear off, even, and not listen to her at all, but I'd still be paying attention to her. So, two basic approaches to life frame how people pay attention: map and territory. The map approach means a person prioritizes meanings over experiences. The territory approach means the opposite. We can henceforth refer to the way of paying attention as cognitive functions. So in math, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division are four basic functions. These correlate with the need to combine, extract, scale up, and scale down. And the field upon which they work is quantity. We need to combine quantities, extract quantities from others, scale up this process, and scale it down. So that's what those functions correspond to. Humans are more complicated, of course. We act, know, decide, and interact instead of combine, extract, scaled, and scale down. These correlate with the need to impact the world, to understand identity, to determine status, and to adapt to change dynamically. Excuse me one second while I scroll down. So, let's ask the following questions to better operationalize the concepts. To determine your cognitive function or somebody else's, or to meaningfully understand the cognitive function that represents action, there's map action and territory action. When are you most impactful? When talking, then you are using probably extroverted intuition. And that's the map action function. You're putting information on the map. Or when not talking, then extroverted sensing. And you're just impacting the world. If I dig a hole, I'm not changing the map, I'm changing the territory. Extroverted sensing is that function. So, two kinds of action, talking and non-talking. How do you know is the next question. Two possibilities. You can either look to your experience to understand the world. That's introverted sensing. Well, every time I've gone over to Joe's house before, I've had a bad time, so I don't want to go there again. Or by looking to the world to understand my experience. Would be something like Joe's house is, or Joe is, has a tendency to disregard social norms regarding people's emotional safety, let's say. Therefore, I don't want to go to his house, even though I had a good time last time, let's say. Number three, so that would be your knowledge function. So you're going to end up having either NE or SE in your front stack of cognitive functions. You'll also have either SI or NI, and not both for each of these, okay? You get one of these each, not both on your front stack, which is to say your conscious functions, or basically the functions that primarily comprise the ways you want to pay attention and normally choose and can choose to pay attention. How do you decide? By determining what's most fair, then you're probably TI, introverted thinking. That's the map deliberation function. It says, hold on, let me check to make sure exactly what the map means here. I'm going to have to solve this equation, or I'm going to have to parse out this argument chain to see where the fallacy lies, or something like that. or by determining what's most authentic. That's FI, introverted feeling. That's the territory deliberation function. How precious is this thing to me? That's when the mother makes the decision that it's wise to go yell at some person because they but it's the sort of thing that makes like an adult woman go yell at her child's bully, who's also a child. That would be FI. The decision to do that is motivated by the authentic attachment that the mother has to her own child's experience, and the understanding that they want to change that reality for their child. Number 4 is, how do you interact with the world? So the last kind of function here is the interaction or interface function, and this refers to the fact that we most of the time, actually, or a lot of the time anyway, are not dealing with static systems. If I am, here's a perfect example. If I know I need to file my divorce papers by this date, or I need to respond to my wife's divorce papers by this date, or is going to happen. Well, I can sit at home, make my response, and just sit on it and turn it in on the last day, and it's fine. I'm not going to get there and discover that the rules have changed, that that now, instead of turning in this to file your response to the divorce, you have to go on the scavenger hunt, where you bring back 1 dead snake, a pair of socks, and 6 bottles of Heineken. So whatever action you're going to take in that system, because it's static, you can decide ahead of time, and if you do a good enough job of parsing out the system, it won't surprise you. It won't change, and therefore, if you do enough good, it won't change. Therefore, if you do good enough job of parsing it out, it won't surprise you. You'll know what impact your action is going to have ahead of time, because there are a finite number of options within the system. It's binary, or it's representational. It's what you call low resolution. Experience is high resolution, and symbolic representation is low resolution. So how do you interact with the world? By understanding people, extroverted feeling. It's the map interface function. That's the way that we deal with the abstract stuff, the abstract side of dynamic systems, which is the way that humans communicate with each other. And the reason that it's more abstract than the way that humans communicate with physical systems is because other humans share a symbolic language. How do you interact with the world? By solving problems and achieving goals. Extroverted thinking, that's the territory interface function. So if you have a good sense of what a problem is and how to get from the current state to the end, then you've got pretty good TE. If you find yourself often 6 steps into a project when you realize you have to scrap the whole thing and start over because you forgot to put down the foundation first or something, then that's an example of an instance prior in time, in history, where had you used extroverted thinking well, or more successfully, you would have anticipated in advance the problem 6 steps down the road, or at least you would have determined the ordinal necessities before beginning. So that's the kind of logic that extroverted thinking is specifically directed at. Okay, so that's my all 16 functions video. Under 10 minutes. I think Octavio Silva will be happy. She's my metaphysical boss. Thank you very much for that, Octavio Silva. And this will ultimately, we'll talk. Thanks. Bye.